All right, good afternoon. Happy Sunday, traders. It's time for the review and rev up for next week. Let's go ahead and dive right into the charts. On the daily charts, one thing that I see is we've hit upper Keltner and we have a very distinct okay longs make your decision now in the very, very short term bar with continuation on the next bar here. So what I'm watching is we have kind of a battle. We've got a low to low trend line here because what we had happen over the last week, Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. There was only 4 trading days last week. Okay, so 20, 18, 17, 21. This is what rollover looks like. Okay, so they pump it up by buying the front month, selling the back month, which would be June, when it gets to a high enough price. And then what they do is they wait for it to come back and they purchase it in the September contract. Now, the one thing that we have to pay attention to here is what if they don't buy it back? What if they do buy it back? And what we have to think about is the risk that they're taking by anticipating a higher price to sell it in the June and then anticipating a lower price for them to buy it back in the September. So they could be vulnerable, they being the biggest players, the people that actually use this as a hedge in their trading, using the futures contract for what it actually is used for, hedging. So it depends on how much of a risk they're willing to take to try to get that spread between what they sold it in the June for and what they're trying to buy it back in the September for. So we're at an all-time high. We're at a decision point. What do they do with it? Let's go to the 4 hour, see if it gives us anything. Well, it does give us something. What we have here is we've got an inverted hammer play. We've got a 3-bar play forming. On the 4 hour chart, after we broke structure, we've traveled down this part of it. Okay, we're there. So now what? Well, this is a sword and shield or 3-bar play, as you would call it. So where do we go starting next week as we come into no longer the June? Now that we've had rollover complete, what do? Did they get their fill? Do they have the supply with the anticipation of a higher price or not? What if they have the supply at a higher price for selling? What if they don't? What if they need a lower price? What if they need a higher price? That's what we're going to be watching for. I know it sounds like we're waffling. I know it sounds like, well, this guy's not really giving us the answer. There is no answer to what is the next move, right? The only answer that we have is to the question, does the next trade win or lose? Yes. That answer is yes. The answer is yes. The next trade wins or loses. That's all we know. Does the stock market go up or down from here? Yes. So as we review what happened last week, we can see that there was a lot of selling through the 4 hour chart, 20 simple, where we're looking at the 200, the 20, and the actual price. It looks like we're consolidating here for whatever move is going to be next, right? So now we don't want to anticipate which move is going to be next. We want it to tell us. We want it to tell us that this is a consolidation base lower. We want it to tell us that this is the pinprick for it to move back into the upper range, right? If we move back into the upper range, we have this to fill, this gap to be filled. If we're going to move lower, we have to fill the rest of this gap down here, okay? They almost filled this one, so if we go like this would be the next thing that we would look at, something like this. That's substantially lower. Is it very plausible? Absolutely. So on the downside, we'll be looking at this level. On the upside, we'll be looking at this level, and then obviously back into all-time highs above the 55.90 level. That's what we'll be looking at for next week. All right, so now, I just wanted to touch base with you in this Sunday night review and rev up, why the market kind of got squirrely. Is this the top of the market? There's no volume saying that it is. There's no one panicking to exit the market. So with that being said, what we'll do is we'll take a look Monday morning at what news is coming towards us. We'll be able to get a better gauge. I believe we go into some sort of narrow state, which would wreck all of the players that need movement to hedge or make any sort of money. With that being said, we're going to end it here. This is the Sunday night review and rev up with Sage. If you are a prop firm trader or you are trying to test into a prop firm, take a look at the link that we have down below for the affiliates page. You can help us support us that way. Also, go to sageft.com. Take a look around. Get signed up for the waiting list if you have not already done so. Everybody have a wonderful evening. We'll see you Monday morning in the live trading desk. Thanks and good night.